Lions training camp beginning 2025. Detroit News Lions beat reporter Nolan Bianchi is here with us. It feels a little bit more like camp now with 100-degree weather almost making our backs sweat. This is football.
Yes, it was a little too overcast yesterday.
Yeah.
You know, the first day is supposed to be filled with hope and excitement, and a little down yesterday. But the sun came out today and ready to roll.
We know the story about this team. The unfortunate ending to last season, a 15-2 team, going through all the perseverance that they went through to make it into the postseason as the #1 seed, the thud that it ended with. What's your perception of the feel, the vibe in camp right now after this offseason?
The optimism feels a little more cautious, I would say. You know, last year, from day one, all we heard about was the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl, we want more, I think, was the slogan that they had going into last season. This year, it feels a little more like just trust the process. Take it week by week, you know, less concentration on the ultimate goal and just handling what's in front of you. And I think that's because when you look at this team compared to last year, they do have a few more question marks. And, you know, I think they're trying to sort some things out, and I think that's kind of showing itself through their, I don't want to say unwillingness to maybe get too ahead of themselves.
We might be projecting maybe our outside feelings on them right now because it is still just helmets, shorts, and jerseys. But there are questions, and I think the offensive line is one that we've kind of honed in on here at the beginning of camp with Tate Ratledge at center, taking the first team snaps. Do you expect day one, that's a big question, him to be there, and what else do you think that offensive line looks like?
Well, I mean, obviously we'll have to see what happens over the next month and a half, but it does seem that that's kind of their plan A, right? Like if they're going to come out and do that from jump, because at the end of the day that allows Graham Glasgow to play his best position of right guard, and you know he can play center, but it's something that I think they would prefer to keep him at guard as well as kind of find a long-term solution immediately. You don't want to go into next year wondering can Tate Ratledge play center. So I think that that's their plan, and we'll see how it goes from here.
Let's let people get to know you a little bit more. I've gotten to know you. You covered the Red Wings for a while. You've covered everything in this town. Homegrown guy.
Yeah.
Let people know a little bit more about Nolan.
Yeah, Shelby Township, shout out. Yeah, this is my second year as the full-time beat writer, and I'm loving every second of it. It's a good time to cover the Lions. But yeah, love all sports, but love football the most. So happy to be here.
Jumping in and covering this team, it is a 24/7 job, 365. Nobody out there is feeling bad for any of us that get to cover this team, and I don't think any of us carry that out here because we know it is a privilege that comes with it. Growing up, though, and knowing how troubled this franchise was, the inconsistencies of it, what do you make of the consistencies built here that Dan Campbell's built around Brad Holmes and the roster that he's created?
It's remarkable because I think even through the end of the 2023 season, and we saw what happened in that NFC Championship game, a lot of people were waiting for the other shoe to drop. And I don't necessarily fault them for that, but when you go through last season and you just see the way that they continued to win games, it was exactly the inverse of what they've been for so long, snatching victory from the jaws of defeat all last season, and it was just like the opposite for so long. I think back to that Green Bay game, Week 9, where the Packers had all the drops, the Packers had all the untimely penalties, the Packers had all the mistakes, and the Lions just grinded it out and kept capitalizing until they got the win. So it's been unbelievable. I love the excitement just in the city. You know, you can kind of feel it. Everybody wants to talk Lions, and it's not just an instant downer talk. You know, there's optimism, and you know, so it's been a lot of fun.
I think it's fun too. They have not won the Super Bowl.
Right.
They haven't made the Super Bowl. But the way perception can flip on a team nationally and the perspective people have on it goes from, oh my gosh, I love the Patriots. It's so fun seeing what they've achieved, and they came out as a team for the Super Bowl too. I hate the Patriots.
Yeah.
The Chiefs have kind of undergone that transformation in a public perception way. This team is still the darling. Taylor Decker said, you know, to us today, nobody ever wanted to watch the Lions on TV. Now all they can do is just put us in every sort of time slot and picture. It'll be interesting, don't you think, to see if that starts to shift of how does this team keep getting away with it?
Yeah, I mean, even like within the NFC North, I think you started to see it a little bit over the last 2 years, where in 2023, I think a lot of NFC North fans were like, well, I don't like the Lions, but you know, good for you. And now it's like getting real and like, okay, this might be sustained excellence that they're about to encounter. They're an obstacle on the path of the division. So, yeah, it's certainly starting to flip. I see Eagles fans out there. They're starting to get their hatred on. So it's good. You know, I'm a big proponent of, you know, we need a little bit of hatred in sports. We need a villain, and I think the Lions like to play that role.
Wearing your all black, saying that confidently.
Yes.
You can read his stuff in the Detroit News. Nolan Bianchi here with us. Homegrown guy. We love seeing him out here each and every day at camp. Nolan, thanks, man.
Appreciate it.